We have a new friend. This is working better than I thought it would. A lot is going right with building my desert forest in far west Texas. My first terrace is fully planted and some of the trees have already grown above my belly button, and they're only 5 months old. But I'm still a novice and I am still learning on camera. There's always room to improve and do better. My biggest obstacle this year was the seeds that I planted. Most of what has come up so far is dominated by 2 species, even though I planted 42 different species. The system I'm creating thrives and will require biodiversity. The last thing I ever want to create is a monocrop. If I start germinating seeds and growing cuttings in a nursery, I start to take more control over my destiny. I don't have to hope that I plant the seed at the right depth and in the right spacing. Doing it with cuttings in a nursery significantly increases my chances of success. And because I'm only on the ranch for 1 week a month, there's a lot of spare time available while I'm at home in Fort Worth to keep learning and improving. Aaron, who's a viewer that lives near me in the Dallas area, very graciously donated 160 cuttings of goji berry. Goji berry is in the same genus as many of the plants growing on my ranch, and that put it very high on my wish list. And then seeing what Aaron had done successfully, I mean, look at these things. They're rooting in pure water. It's now led to something of an addiction for me to collect as many cuttings as I possibly can from everywhere. This one's rooting already, and it's only been 2 days. This part right there is just a little nubby. And then mulberry. I really don't expect the mulberry to be rooting yet. After my failed desert willow experiment, I've started taking cuttings of everything I can find now, just because I feel like it's a higher probability of success. I've been going a little overboard with cuttings because it's something that I can control more and they're not hard to find. And I took cuttings from my pomegranate bush and I want to propagate it, but I've started doing it the same way I'm doing all the cuttings, whether it's desert willow or mulberry or the goji berries, which are doing so well, but those are just soaking in water. I read that pomegranate doesn't like having the cuttings in water, so I'm going to try splitting them. I'm going to put about half of them, depending on how much potting soil I have, in soil, and then the rest I'll just keep in water. I don't really have a strong opinion on which cuttings are going to do the best. My goal is not really to propagate. Obviously, that's what I want to happen. My goal is to learn, and instead of placing all my chips on a single method, I want to do 2 methods and see which one works best. But I take it as a good sign that the pomegranate is re-leafing. That is definitely encouraging. It implies to me that it's taking up water. And today we're going to do another 10. What I'm noticing is that I'm just doing 10 a day because that's really what I comfortably have time for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what I'm noticing is the goji berries that I planted about a week ago are not leafing out so much, and then these that I've put in soil are leafing a little better, and the ones I've left in water are clearly absorbing and putting out new growth. So that tells me longer up to a point is better. So I'm going to keep staggering my planting time, trying to figure out with the goji berry cuttings, how long should I leave them in water before I really want to put them in soil. But let's get started. This one's even flowering, which we definitely don't want. Not yet. Okay, where's that flower? I do not want flowers. I gotta get some more dirt. I originally brought home a lot of soil. Well, not a lot. I only brought home 5 gallons. And I'm trying to stretch it I want native soil to be in here, but I also need to not be bringing home trailer loads of desert sand. So what I tried to do was make a mix of about 1/3 of native soil and 2/3 potting soil that I bought from the store. That, I hope, gives me the best balance between some fertility and without shocking the plants whenever I transplant them. The first thing that I planted in here that was doing really well at home was Lucina retusa, but it died from a fungal infection because this spring it just rained nonstop here in Fort Worth, and they are really not designed for that kind of environment. They are native to my ranch, very, very nearby to my ranch. So a failed attempt, and I could have kept them alive, but I learned some lessons. And I think this is the last one I'm gonna put in soil. And now I'm applying those lessons to goji berry propagation. And what I'm hoping is that we just have goji berries growing everywhere. Whoops. I really need to get a watering can because I'm pretty sure these germinated and I killed them with the aggressive water falling on them. May as well give that pomegranate some love. I just went to Fort Worth to meet Chris, who's been growing some Lucina retusa for me, and I realized if I'm going to Fort Worth, I had to stop back at my brother-in-law's house because I was helping him the other day move some drywall, and I realized, hey, this giant shrub growing in front of his yard is rattlebush, the same thing that's doing so awesome on the Dust Ups Ranch. Because I'm already bringing out goji berry and a whole bunch of other types of cuttings, I thought it'd be really smart to go get some Suspania cuttings the night before I leave. So I'm going to do that. I unfortunately can't film it because I didn't think about bringing my camera, but I'm getting some of this stuff. The reason the Suspania is so good with the timing is that I'm leaving for the ranch in the morning, and this water and this beautiful set of goji berries are coming with me. So I'm hoping that this water should be full of rooting hormone. Not that Suspania really needs any help anyway with rooting, but it's not a bad thing to have the rooting hormone available. I was interested in gardening, but I never actually gardened. I just didn't feel like I had a super strong purpose. Honestly, kind of expected my vegetable garden to fail, and well, when you expect to fail, you fail. But with the desert forest, because it's just so public, I can't fail. And I have to do everything like 100,000 people are watching. So it makes me a lot more motivated to do my absolute best, because there's a lot of people out there rooting for me, and I feel like I owe it to them to deliver. That, and I really like doing it. And I'm absolutely going to save a couple of these for my own efforts here in my backyard. Be silly not to. Brandon's to-do list is long and getting longer, but thanks to today's sponsor, Connecteam, he knows what to work on at all times. Meet Connecteam, an employee management app made for the deskless workforce. That's Dust Ups. I spend 75% of my time at a desk, and Brandon, he doesn't even have a desk. That's why Connecteam is perfect for me. Brandon can easily access everything that he needs to do right from his phone. He can clock in and he can directly send reports and forms, including images and video, so that I can see the work that's been done. I can see in real time when tasks have been completed, which is better for everyone. Brandon doesn't have to put up with me asking 20 times, "Are you done yet?" I log into my view on the desktop, I look at the tasks, and if it's still up, it hasn't been done yet. And Brandon can use the Connecteam app to view the next task available in the queue. Keep yourself and your team up to date with Connecteam. I'm using the completely free plan that has full capabilities for up to 10 employees. And if you have more than 10 employees, you can still get a free trial up to 14 days without a credit card. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code that you see on the screen to get Connecteam right now. Well, this is not at all what I planned to be doing today, but it turns out that mini excavators are going for dirt cheap. I just bought one for $1,800. I won't owe any tax on it because it's ag exempt, and the auction fees are only 10%. So the out-the-door cost is going to be less than 2,000 bucks. And I'm driving this dually out to the ranch so Daniel can pick it up and fix it, like do the rest of the fixes for me in El Paso, where I just don't have time to keep working on it. But while I'm here and while they're basically giving away equipment, I mean, this wasn't at the top of my buy list, but sometimes the price is just so cheap, it seems dumb not to take it. So let's go to Ritchie Brothers. The purchase price was so low that the auction fee was 15%, so I paid a little over $2,000. TTL out the door, $2,070. Now I'm gonna go get loaded and get this on the way to the ranch. That is oddly specific. Yes, I did pull the trigger buying a very small mini excavator. It's as small as it could possibly be, weighing only 1 ton. I'm both excited and apprehensive. I'm excited because I have endless needs for a mini excavator all over the ranch. And I'm apprehensive because this is one of the imports from China that's currently flooding the market. I've seen really positive feedback on this type of equipment on some Facebook groups that I've joined, but it also comes with problems. QA is not a strong point for these machines. Well, I can already tell you one thing that tells me it's not American made, which is it doesn't even have a tie down point, which is pretty annoying and seems like a dumb oversight to me. I still gotta strap my spare tire down, but I've got the bucket tied down, one tying the neck, one tying behind the rotating point, and then one tying down the blade. I really wish I was able to tie it by the corners, but I don't know how structurally sound all this stuff is, and I don't really see any. Oh, I guess I could oh man, of course now I do this on camera. This is where I should be tying down, right here. That's what I get for running my mouth. It has tie down points. So we got a chain on one corner, got a chain on an opposing corner, and then these ratchet straps are rated for 3,300 pounds each. Still got to do that tire. It is 100 degrees, 37, 38 Celsius in the end of September. I'm just sweating like crazy. So I'm gonna finish tying this tire down. I'm gonna get home and see if I can turn this thing on. I better take a look at the machine and see what I got before I drive off. All right, here's my little mini excavator. So keys are in the ignition right here. I doubt this runs, but look at this. Hours, 0. Love it. Okay, I got high beams. This is probably the throttle. It's got like the 1960s gear style for you control forward and backward. Man, this looks like somebody built it in their garage, but you know, for 2,000 bucks out the door, you couldn't build it this cheap. And I assume this is the guess. What is that? Well, anyway, let's look in the toolbox. A manual, another manual. Looks like a grease gun. Really simple wrenches and a tiny little hydraulic hose. Hopefully I won't need that because I got much better tools on the ranch. I just want to get out of the yard and out of the sun. I can go in my driveway under the big oak tree and see if I can get this machine started in the shade. For now, I'm gonna get that tire tied down and get out of this heat. Chris and Brandon went up to go get loading ramps from the dump trailer. And now let's see if I can get this started. Come on. We'll let it warm up, and by the time Brandon and Chris get here, this ought to be warm enough that we can operate the controls. I want to keep it on relatively low throttle while it warms up, and then we'll up the power a little bit. This machine is seriously underpowered for its weight. I messed with it a little bit at home just to make sure I'd be able to operate the controls, and get this thing off the truck. I don't completely trust it, so I definitely want a spotter while I'm doing this, but last minute buy, so last minute planning. This is the other issue. There's a leak. It's a brand new machine. It's in that cabinet, but before I even mess with it, I want to get it just off the truck. It'll be easier to work with. I'll deal with that in a little bit, but a hydraulic leak on a new machine that's literally turned on for 5 minutes is disappointing. And I have a torn track. I didn't even see that till now. That's not gonna last very long. Although these look like they're meant to be punctured, but still, that's a bad start. That's pretty annoying.
You need to get if you have any powders, electrolyte powder, you need some and some shade.
All right, yeah, and I'll get it here in a second. You'll probably need 3 bottles for just 1 packet because it's really salty.
Oh, okay.
But you should feel better in like 5 minutes. It hits so fast.
That's what I need to hear.
Yeah. Ready? I don't know if it's gonna have enough power to even operate.
Look at this bird.
That bird is nuts. Come on, Dolores. We want to keep you around. Dolores is a bird that Brandon met while he was building the beaver dam analogs. The desert willow that's the main tool used in those dams had some seed pods, and as he spilt some seed pods, Dolores showed up and helped him or her to a snack.
This is so cool.
Yeah. That is too fun. Yard Butler donated a bird feeder.
Mm-hmm.
A bird feeder stand, but we got to buy the actual feeder.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so pleasant having company. I mean, can you imagine what a bird bath would do out here?
Oh, that is so cool. I've never had anything like this ever.
Hey, yeah. Originally, when Brandon named Dolores, it was because he thought it was a female bird, and then as he learned more about brown-headed cowbirds, he realized that the gender isn't quite as obvious, so we may have misnamed Dolores the boy bird as a girl name. Whoa, hey! What are you attacking me for? What are you attacking me for?
Are you trying to handle it?
No! Just trying to film him.
That's my buddy!
Yeah.
Hey, buddy!
I know. I think he clearly is okay with humans now. Thanks, Brandon.
You know he deserves a name.
I'm not confident of he, but I think the pattern is, it said the juveniles are, had that modeled pattern, but pretty sure it's a, brown-headed cowbird, but I couldn't say male or female until it was mature. But the females are all gray. They don't have that pattern. And obviously the males have a brown head, the black body.
But since we can't tell the gender of the bird, Dolores is now Dolores, and we are delighted by his or her company.
Here you go. You know what's up. Come on. I think she's being coy. That's neat. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, she's clearly not too afraid of us.
I think she saw me dragging the willow boughs and was like, "That's just a weird looking cow. I'm in the clear."
Yeah. Where do you think I should park this?
I think it's pretty.
Yeah. You know, it's fine for digging compost holes and little trenches for our conduit. And I don't even know how to operate the controls, clearly. But yeah, it's a start. Now I can build the nursery. Get the dozer warmed up and we'll do the pre-flight. Well, I'm done with the dozer. That was about 2.5, maybe 3 hours of work. Probably more like 2.5. And now I've got a level-ish pad. I can tell it clearly slopes down a little bit, but it's nothing severe. What I'm gonna go do now is get on the mini excavator and start driving this thing over, because I want to get at least one trench dug so that we can get my plants out of the wind, and then we can throw some shade cloth over the top to help minimize the sun as well. So I think that's going to be the last step in getting this nursery going on dust-ups. You want to try it?
Do you trust me?
Yeah, sure. You're just digging in a straight, more or less, like this is basically north-south, and we're trying to pile up the material because most of the wind comes kind of like it is now, where it's coming this way. And we want this to block it and the plants to be so low that they're not getting hit by the wind.
I'll watch you just for a second.
Okay.
See, does I take a little bit of notes?
Yeah, do you mind holding the camera?
Yeah, of course. Is it a good purchase?
Yeah, actually, I mean, this is working better than I thought it would. Like, we got a pretty deep hole. I mean, that's what, like 2 feet?
It's a really good hole.
Yeah, so I mean, it's doing what I need.
I don't want to mess up your equipment at all, especially on your first time getting it.
I want to finish. I got it. I'm what, like a third of the way? So, do you want to try?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
Just so I can sleep better knowing I didn't mess anything up.
We'll just put it in the back. I should have made it a little wider so that you'd be able to drive the truck right up to here. But on the next one, I'll have learned my lesson. But last night when it was blowing 30, I got down in there and like really low, it's noticeably better out of the wind. This thing's got to be close to probably 80 pounds. It weighs as much as the big generator. Just like that. Just needs to be low so the wind can blow over it, and that's it. It's not fancy. And then whenever you find the shade cloth, we'll just put these stones and lay it down. But that's it. Dust Ups has a nursery. Now that I have this mini excavator, it needs a name, and I'm hoping that you can help me with it. If you scan the QR code or click the link in the description, that'll take you to dustupsranch.com, where you can enter your name, your email, and your suggestion for what to call the mini excavator. I'm gonna try to pick it mostly at random. I want it to be something that genuinely comes from the viewers, but it needs to be family appropriate and be something that you can actually get me to say on camera. Keep it funny but clean. Make sure you stay up to date with the latest happenings and news on the Dust Ups Ranch. Go to dustupsranch.com and enter in your best email address. That'll put you on the regular newsletter so you know exactly what's happening in near real time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.